And welcome in together. I'm Limcube, I'm a Breath of the Wild speedrunner, and I'm 100%ing this game bit by bit every single day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which today is in 184 days. While I do that, I talk about topics on my mind, usually video game related, and we basically just play the game as I go. Today my goal is to beat the Vine Beast Var Meadow, and then maybe we'll see what else we can do, because I have a little bit of a rant that I want to do today. This is a rant that I have had in the past. I always knew I wanted to do this video series where I kind of rant about topics, but this is the format I ended up on, the 100% completion of the game. And I talked about this in the past, but I will talk about this again. I guess I can't shut up about this topic, and today is a good day to talk about it. I want to talk about Pokemon, and especially Pokemon Generation 9. The reason it's a good day today to talk about is because there was a new trailer that got revealed today about Scarlet and Violet, the newest iteration of the Pokemon series. Wait, I actually kind of like this outfit. This looks clean, but I don't have enough cold protection with it for Var Meadow. But there was a new trailer today for the games, and unfortunately they basically looked as bad as I thought. This is not going to be a rant where I completely hate on Pokemon, please understand. I know there's some people that just straight up hate on the series, and the people that still play Pokemon even though they're in their 20s or even 30s or 40s or 50s, it doesn't matter. I'm in my 20s and I played Pokemon as a kid. I really like the game, and I especially like, I feel like I like the game nowadays for different reasons than I used to in the past. In the past it was just cool, collecting cool looking monsters. Now I'm very interested in the team building side of things and the competitive side of things. Optimizing my team to make it as strong as possible, stuff like that. And I'm assuming, and not only assuming, it's basically guaranteed that that's going to be possible again in Generation 9. The one problem that I have with Pokemon, and I had with Pokemon in the past, is that I see this giant potential in the game, but Nintendo and the Pokemon Company is only doing so little to work towards the game reaching that full potential. You see community ideas online. I talk about this all the time. I think this is my most talked topic on stream, where people on Reddit early on used the Breath of the Wild engine, and instead of placing bokoblins and horses in the game, they just placed Pokemon in here. Like, just imagine like a bomb of snow or something walking through this wasteland here, and it would already be an amazing game if it on top of that had the normal Pokemon battle mechanics when it comes to the game's visuals. Because, and this is my first grab of Generation 9, especially after looking at the new trailer, the visuals are, and you can't really put it any other way, disappointing. I know there's people that still defend them and say the game looks great, they do what they can, but they really don't. I think that's just not true. I personally don't buy into this argument, because there's games that look as visually complete than this game. And you don't have to say that this game is the best looking game of all time. I'm talking about Breath of the Wild here, but it looks just so much more polished, clean and finished than Generation 9 of Pokemon does. But Generation 9 of Pokemon comes out 6 years, almost 6 years after this game. This is a Wii U game that I'm playing right now, and it still somehow manages, in my opinion, to look much better than Generation 9. Another problem is, in my opinion, the Pokemon designs. I don't want to talk much about. I'm not going to mention the leaks, in case if you're a Pokemon fan, you're scared of getting any leaks in this video, because there have been lots of leaks. If you don't want to play Generation 9, if you want to play Generation 9 without being exposed to any sort of leak, you should probably steer clear of the internet right now before the game comes out in 10 days, because there's leaks everywhere about the starters, evolution, etc. I'm not going to talk about any of those, so I'm only going to go off the information that was officially revealed. And even then, I am a little bit disappointed in not only the designs. I personally, I mean, everybody has their own preferences, right? Like, some people like cute Pokemon. I personally still, I guess I still have that edgy teenager side in me. I like the edgy designs. I actually do like Cerulege. It's just a dual sword wielding ghost fire type Pokemon. I forgot to talk to the person in Rito Village, so I actually can't do the quest right now. We're gonna have to do that real quick. If you don't talk to the Dorito Chief and Saki, you cannot start this quest. But yeah, I personally like the edgy look of Pokemon. My favorite in Gen 8 Sword and Shield was, for example, like Dragapult, which some people thought was like ridiculous, but I thought it was a cool ghost dragon, pretty edgy, pretty cool. So it's preference, and I don't want to exactly only talk about designs, because I'm sure some people love the Generation 9 designs, but my issue, especially in Generation 9, is the gimmick. I already hated Dynamax personally. I know in a competitive, well, actually it's kind of weird, so I don't even know, because I'm not a competitive Pokemon player myself yet. I'm planning on getting into it this generation. I actually want to see how good I can play if I really dedicate some time towards playing competitively, but I've been following competitive content. I'm not exactly sure what the conclusion is on Dynamax competitively. I know at one point people said they hate it and it like ruined the format, and then later they also said it added depth to it. I don't know what people currently think. It definitely is a big deal competitively because of the strength that Dynamax gives to your Pokemon, but visually I think it looks ridiculous. It looks bad. Some of the Gigantamax Pokemon are maybe kind of cool. Like, I like the concept of some of them, like Centiskorch being this massive dragon type thing, and Duraludon, I think its Gigantamax or Gigantamax form was basically like a full-on skyscraper. I like the idea, but the normal Dynamax Pokemon, where it's just like a giant Pichu or like a giant Pikachu, I thought was just funny and not cool. Kind of off-putting. And it's worse, in my opinion, this generation. So this generation, it might be even more interesting from a competitive standpoint. From a strategy standpoint, it might be more balanced and more interesting. I don't know about balanced yet. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But giving Pokemon a completely like changing types of a Pokemon is something we've never seen. It can probably lead to some very broken combinations of typings and abilities, etc. So that's cool, and I am interested in that. But what I'm not interested about is the way it looks. It looks so bad. I don't know if you are somebody that likes the crystallize mechanic of Pokemon Generation 9. Tell me what makes it look cool for you, because I cannot see how anyone can think it looks good. Again, I'm not trying to like flame you. I genuinely want to know why you think, what do you think is so cool about it? Because the way that these crystallized things on top of the Pokemon, like maybe the shine in general is kind of cool, but have you seen some of the crystallized forms? Like the dragon form is just, you get a full-on dragon that's like bigger than the Pokemon itself on their heads. I don't know, a little bit of a rage moment there because I'm so disappointed in that gimmick, but I guess maybe I get used to it, but I highly, highly doubt it. My number one issue, essentially, with Pokemon is not necessarily the way it looks right now and discrediting the work that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo is doing. I'm glad they're doing their thing, but what makes me so upset is the amazing, amazing potential that the game actually has compared to what it turns out to be. You just have to do one quick Twitter search. If you don't want to see any naked Pokemon, you do have to be careful when you do use Pokemon and Twitter at the same time. But if you actually look at some cool concept art that people have made, for example, for theoretical evolutions that the starter Pokemon are gonna have, I can't help but get sad, because they all look so much cooler than what I'm sure the evolutions will actually look like. Again, first of all, there's only been one starter evolution leaked as of right now, I think, and I'm not even gonna go off of that. But I'm mostly comparing to Generation 8 here, where people had these amazing ideas what the starters would turn into, especially what ended up being Inteleon, which in my opinion is one of the most ugly Pokemon of all time, no flame. Well, okay, that's a bit harsh, but like, it's really not that cool, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion. You could completely disagree with me, and you could say, okay, so I'm down for you to disagree with me in saying, you like the way Pokemon looks and you're completely happy with everything they do. That's fine, right? But I can disagree with you, and I can say I don't like the way it looks. And additionally, I think one thing everyone can agree on, because nobody would lose by saying this, but I think we can all agree on that there is there's much more potential in the game. You might already be happy, you might already love it, but there is so much more potential for what the game could be. And I think that just makes me incredibly frustrated, because the baseline is there. The baseline is there. It's it's such a trusted formula, right? The type mechanics, these Pokemon that you train, this universe, this world that you explore. You level up your Pokemon, you level up your team, you make friends along the way. You challenge gym leaders that become progressively harder and overcome the strongest trainer in your region. Like, the formula is there, but some things along the way just seem to, yeah, some potential along the way is just dropped. Like, Pokemon might be good, but it's sad knowing how good it could be. Also, that's a pretty cool wind bomb, by the way. Just talking about this game for a second, I'm actually very surprised that I hit it. It's a little bit finicky. I don't know if I'm gonna hit these shots, though. Okay, give me 1 second, I need to focus. 1, 2, okay. Let me finish the attack on Meadow here real quick. My goal is still to beat this Divine Beast today. We gotta make some progress eventually.
One more, got it?
Nice.
We did it.
Yeah, again, let me talk a little bit more about Gen 9 specifically, because I will play the game, and this makes me part of the problem. What I talked about in the past is that I think us as a community, at least the people that agree with me and say, man, Pokemon could be so much better, we gotta hold Nintendo to a higher standard. The only way anything would ever change if suddenly people stopped caring about Pokemon and said, well, actually, I don't know. I'm wondering if everyone would suddenly boycott Pokemon. I wonder if they would just stop making the series, or if they would actually go ahead and improve on the series and chase more of the potential that it has. I don't know. And then again, I'm part of the problem because I say all of these things, right? I'm still gonna buy the game. And that's sad, I guess, in a way, because I'm feeding into the problem that way, but I still want something. And I guess that's where the big issue is, right? This is why me bitching about that here, frankly, doesn't really do anything, because I'm still gonna buy the game. Nintendo's still gonna make money, and we're gonna say, oh, it has all of these issues, but you know what? We're buying it anyway. So from a business perspective, why would Nintendo change anything? It doesn't. They don't care if the community, or not even the community, because a giant portion of Pokemon fans are still like parents or something that buy the game for their kids, or I don't care about any of what I'm saying. But let me say I'm a more I don't want to use hardcore gamer as a word. That sounds wrong in that context, but I guess gaming is a very important part of my life, a very crucial part of my life. So I think about these things more. I'm maybe more, I'm maybe a little bit more, I may talk about criticism about the game. Oh, sorry, again, English isn't my first language. There's a better way to say what I'm trying to say, but I'm kind of missing the words. Like, I might be more, there's this adjective. I might be more critic. I am more likely to have criticism about the game. There's a cool adjective. If you're watching this point of the video, maybe let me know. Than the average gamer, right? So I'm more likely to actually say something. But my issue is that Nintendo doesn't care about me, and Nintendo doesn't care about any of us that have these issues. They don't have to, because even us, even the people that have these issues, we still buy the game anyway. And I would almost say that the people that currently don't buy the game, they might still not even... Okay, actually let me know. This is interesting. If you're a Pokemon fan, but you've actually boycotted the game, I know a lot of my friends, a lot of people in my Discord server said they like Pokemon, but they don't play the new generations anymore because they're too ridiculous. They don't look good enough anymore. They don't have the right standards anymore. I guess those people would come back if a new Pokemon comes out, a Pokemon game comes out that's actually really good, question mark. But I don't know how big that percentage of people is. Essentially, I think the real issue is that even people like me, people that see the issues that the games have and are critical, that's the word, are critical of their approach recently with the games, we still buy the games anyway. And I think for somebody like me, the thing that is the most frustrating is that I feel like, yeah, just a lot of people do seem to settle. They just take whatever product Nintendo gives them, the Pokemon company gives them, and say, hey, this reminds me of my childhood. I guess, as always, nostalgia will play a big role here. This is similar to the Pokemon games I used to play. I'll enjoy this. I'll give them the money. I move on. And I just can't help. I can't really get mad at it because the people are happy. Nintendo is happy. They're making money. But I can't help but feel a little bit sad for the product along the way that the games could have been, but they will never be because people are either too easily pleased or they're just like me and they at least want something. They at least want an attempt to make a good Pokemon game and they spend the money anyway. At the end of the day, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I played the game as a kid, I played the recent games and I enjoyed them, and I want to take the competitive side a little bit more seriously. So, this is just a giant rant about wanting Pokemon to be a better game and seeing a game somewhere there in the Pokemon formula that could be a game that many of us can play for years and make great content about, that could be a big cultural improvement for our lives. But I think the reality is we're just gonna get another mediocre Pokemon game that's gonna have us talk about it for a little bit and then probably make some money in the process, and that will probably be it. And that's all I wanted to rant about for today. As usual, don't expect these videos to be fully thought through from beginning to end. Maybe I made some points along the way that you agree with. Let me know your thoughts about Pokemon as well. Are you gonna get Gen 9? Are you excited for it? Do you think the game is perfect? I doubt that. I feel like even people that say they like how Pokemon the new generation looks, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the game looks perfect. But maybe you do. If you do, let me know. How is this guy still not in phase 2? But anyway, I will be focusing on beating Windblind Ganon here, collecting Rivali's Gale. Well, actually, I'm probably going to save the game as soon as I get the heart container here, because I try to leave these recordings under 20 minutes. And then we'll continue tomorrow. I'm actually really surprised I got those headshots. That was a pretty annoying pattern. No, he literally teleported through that ancient arrow. I also like how with these cinema bars on this footage, you can still barely see the health bar. It looks kind of cool. Boom. There we go. Windblight Ganon down. We got the first Divine Beast on this file. Rivali's Gate is going to help us exploring a little bit. Also going to pick up this heart container. And then maybe, you know what, we might as well just get Rivali's Gate really quick. That's a better starting point for the next. Oh, and I just thought of something because I like Rivali's voice actor. Nintendo has recently been releasing trailers for the game with voice acting. Dude, please give us voice acting in the game. That would be, I don't think anyone, okay, maybe there's always someone, but I think so many people would be so happy if the game was voice acted. Like, especially in Legends Arceus, I had a hard time catching up the story because there was so much to read. And especially I, as a streamer, I streamed the game. I wanted to read all of that text to make it easier for the viewers. I really wish voice acting would be there. They have great voice actors for the anime. So I think it would be a huge improvement for the game's story that most people would agree on. Just a win for everyone. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about Pokemon 2. Tomorrow we'll be back with Breath of the Wild. I'll figure out what we do. Probably do some shrines. Probably get some Koroks. Gotta get closer to 100%. 184 days until Tears of the Kingdom today. Still got like a little bit of time to get through this game. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.